So when I was 23, as it says on the tag there, we got a product called the vest. Now, when someone called me up like, oh, we'd like to give you a vest, I assumed it would be a badass denim vest with Judas Priest patches on it. Instead, it's kind of like an oversized blood pressure cuff that shakes me and like squeezes the mucus out of me almost like you would squeeze toothpaste out of a tube. It looks something like this. Just put your head on here. Strap this in. Then we attach these sweet tubes to it. Now, I did not pay for this myself. I managed to get insurance to cover this. I'm told this thing was like $16,000. I didn't see a receipt on that. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. But anyway, you put that on, and we inflate the vest. And I should note before I start this, the vest people have an issue with managing expectations. Like, it's a great product. It does great things for me, but before they send it to you, they send you a video on how to do it. And in that video, I believe the girl's name is Megan, they show her like talking on the phone. Pretty sure she cooked dinner, fixed the transmission. She did a lot of things in the vest. It straps you in, and it's much harder to half-ass than, say, the Flutter, but this is what I sound like when I do it. I'm essentially giving a traffic report from the traffic copter. It looks like there's some pileup down on 95. You're gonna want to avoid exit 6. You can't talk on the phone and do this. I mean, I've tried it, but I sound like I'm about to cry at any point because a lawnmower's coming for me or something. But it really is a great product, and it moves the mucus up and out. Again, we had talked about the resonant frequency of your mucus. You've got a couple different frequencies here. I like to start it around 8 hertz. It's got a timer too, so again, it's tough to half-ass. It knows how long you do it for. You can change the pressure on it too. I keep it around 6. Of course, on this too, though I was 23 at the time, and you'd think I would have learned my lesson from the postural drainage machine, everyone told me like, oh, you have to vary the frequency, do this. I figured, screw it, we need to crank this baby up. Let's make this go as hard as it can, and this ought to move some mucus out. It's kind of useless though. That's almost shaking you too hard. So I do this for half an hour when I wake up. I do it for half an hour before I go to bed. And while I'm doing that, I tend to do the pulmozyme as well. But then they added something else, which is this saline solution. It's a 7% saline solution, so it's 7% salt, the rest of it's water. I think if you're a chemist, you can go ahead and correct me on that. It's 4 milliliters, and it's 80 cents for each one of these vials. It cost me $48 a month, which seems like a lot for just salt water, but you're kind of paying for convenience, because I did think about making it myself, but this is clean and pre-measured. And actually, before it came in the 7 milliliter vial, they used to send me, not 7 milliliters, sorry, 7%. They used to send me a 5% saline solution and an 11% that is supposed to mix together to make 7%. And I probably came close, but when I used to inhale that, I'd just cough for like 40 minutes straight. I think I oversalted it. It made everything taste like an ocean. I got salt everywhere. And I actually quit doing the saline for quite a while until they came out with a product pre-measured. And my lung function was on the decline. The doctors talked me into trying it again, and it definitely makes me cough a lot more. It still kind of makes my mucus taste like the ocean, but it gets stuff up and out, and I can't argue with results. So I do this while I'm doing the vest, both in the morning after the pulmozyme, and again at night. I tend to do it for about 10 minutes. I could probably get 15 out of this vial, but let's not push it. And we also, shut the vest off here. I was also in a little study about the best airway clearance model current model for people with CF, and they gave me this little acapella right here, which to me functions a lot like the Flutter, but there's a few more moving parts in here. Let's see if, I don't think I can open this. Oh yeah, I can. Look at me, I'm great. It's got a little magnet here, and that kind of helps you regulate the amount of the frequency rather than the tilt up, tilt down motion of the flutter. There's a little dial right here, so you can decrease or increase the pressure / frequency. I don't use this a lot. Sometimes if I'm feeling sick, I'll use it in the car. It works well, not as great as the vest does, but again, it shares a similar problem with the flutter where it's very easy for me to half-ass it. So, all right, we're done with that. And then I'm on to doing whatever I do for the day. And that's a brief history of the airway clearance that I've done and that I continue to do. This is the classic Pomalade. I've since upgraded to the Philips Respironics model because I was like, hey, if insurance will pay for it, I'll get one. Turns out insurance didn't pay for it and it cost me like $200. But still, it's a little quieter, it's a little smaller. And that's an issue because sometimes I have to take this stuff with me. Like, for instance, my fiance lives on Long Island. I live in Connecticut. And so it's like a 3-hour drive or so for me. If you know, I like to see her every once in a while, and I have to put all this stuff in a bag and carry it. Maybe we should weigh the bag. We'll see how much that weighs when we put the vest in it and the Respironics. And then I have to refrigerate the Pomalzyme, so you have to bring an ice pack with you as well. You got to make sure that doesn't melt. If it reaches room temperature, it's useless. And it's a fun time. But again, if you happen to have a cure for CF, I'd like that now, because I don't want to carry this stuff anymore. Thank you for watching.